Little People Big World. Star News Season 26 upcoming. On September 20th. Share announcement. Little People Big World. Fans big happy day. Matt Roloff arrest. Karen Chandler. Finally new relationship. And Karen new pregnant. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great. Today, I've got some exciting news for all of you fans of Little People Big World. If you've been following the show for a while, or even if you're just curious about what's coming next, you're going to want to stick around. Because today, we're talking about the big announcement. Season 26 of Little People Big World is officially coming, and it's premiering on September 20th. Yes, you heard that right. Season 26 is just around the corner, and TLC just shared the news today. So if you've been wondering whether we'd get another season, the wait is over. Let's break it all down and talk about what we might expect from the new season, and why this one could be very different from the ones before it. First off, it's kind of amazing that we're at season 26. That's over 18 years of following the Roloff family, watching their ups and downs, their relationships, their kids growing up, and of course, all the drama around the family farm. Little People Big World has really become one of the most iconic reality shows on TV, not just because of how long it's lasted, but because it's always felt real. It's about family, challenges, love, and change. Now, as for what's coming in this new season, while TLC hasn't dropped a full trailer yet, there's already buzz about some of the themes and moments we might see. Based on everything we've seen from the end of season 25 and some of the posts the family members have been sharing online, here's what we might be getting into. Let's start with Matt Roloff. Last season, we saw Matt continuing to work on the farm, but there was also a lot of emotional stuff going on, especially around the future of the property. In season 25, things were still a bit tense between Matt and his kids, especially Zach, after the whole situation with the farm sale didn't go the way everyone hoped. The big question for season 26 is, has anything changed? Are fences being mended? Is the family coming back together? Or are the tensions still running deep? We know Matt's been busy with his new projects on the farm and spending time with Karen, his fiancée. There have been rumors that their wedding might be coming up soon, or at least being planned, so it's very possible season 26 could give us a look into that. Are they preparing for a ceremony? Will it happen on the farm? That could be a major part of the new season. Speaking of family changes, let's talk about Amy. Last season, we saw Amy adjusting to life with Chris, and while they seem really happy together, there's always a bit of tension when it comes to co-parenting and dealing with the rest of the family. Amy's always been the heart of the show. She's honest, emotional, and doesn't hide how she feels. Season 26 might show her finding more peace, but we're sure there will still be some big emotional moments. Now, one of the biggest questions going into this new season is about Zach and Tori. As fans know, they made a pretty bold move when they decided to step away from the farm and start their own life in Washington. We've seen them growing as a family, raising their 3 adorable kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah. In season 25, they were more distant from the rest of the family, especially after the disagreement with Matt about buying part of the farm. So, in season 26, fans are hoping for either some healing, or at least some closure. It's unclear how much they'll appear this season, but if they do, it'll be really interesting to see where things stand. Are they reconnecting with Matt? Are the cousins spending more time together again? Or is the family still figuring out how to move forward? Let's not forget Jeremy and Audrey, even though they haven't been featured on the show in a while. There's always curiosity about whether they'll make a surprise return, especially since they're still pretty active on social media, and they've also had ups and downs with the family. They're raising their own little ones now too, and fans would love to see how they're doing. It's unclear whether TLC will bring them back, but never say never. Another possibility for this season is that we might get a deeper look into the next generation of Roloffs. The kids are growing up fast. Jackson just started kindergarten not too long ago, and watching the Roloff grandkids grow up is something that fans absolutely love. There's a lot of joy, fun, and of course, real-life parenting moments that could make for great episodes. One thing fans are also curious about is how the Roloff family is dealing with the changes to the farm itself. Matt's been doing renovations and building new areas for short-term rentals, and some viewers think the farm doesn't feel the same without big family gatherings like pumpkin season. Will we see the family come together again for a major event on the farm? Or has that part of their life come to a close? So, with all of that said, Season 26 of Little People, Big World is shaping up to be another emotional and revealing chapter in the Roloff family story. With the premiere date locked in for September 20th, there's not long to wait. Whether you're here for the family drama, the personal growth, or just to see the kids grow up, this season promises to bring more of what makes the show special. And even though TLC hasn't released a full trailer yet, the fact that they made the announcement today means we'll probably be getting more details very soon. Maybe even a sneak peek or some clips in the coming days. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out, and I'll share updates as they come to us. In the upcoming season of Little People, Big World, things are getting tense once again between Amy and Matt. The new trailer gives us a clear look into the growing tension in the Roloff family, especially when it comes to Matt's engagement to Karen and the future of the family farm. The trailer opens with scenes that feel familiar: Roloff farms, pumpkin season, and family gatherings. But the tone quickly shifts. We start to hear voiceovers and conversations that reveal all is not well. One of the biggest storylines this season revolves around Matt's engagement and how it's impacting his relationship with his ex-wife, Amy, and their kids. Amy, who has always had strong opinions about how things are run on the farm, doesn't hold back. In one scene, she questions some of Matt's decisions and says he often pushes forward with plans without really consulting the rest of the family. There's a moment where she says something like, "You do what you want and the rest of us just have to go along with it." That line alone sets the tone for what we can expect this season. Matt, on the other hand, seems excited about moving on with Karen. The trailer shows him talking about their upcoming wedding and future plans. He appears happy and hopeful, but it's clear that not everyone is on board with how quickly things are moving. One of the most emotional parts of the trailer is when Amy admits that it's hard to see Matt getting engaged and making these big life changes. Even though they've both moved on, Amy with her husband Chris, she seems to struggle with the idea of her ex remarrying, especially with someone who was close to both of them during their marriage. The family tension doesn't stop there. Zach and Tori, who used to be more involved with the farm, are noticeably more distant this season. There are scenes where they talk about wanting space from everything going on, and it seems like their relationship with Matt has been strained ever since the negotiations about the farm didn't go well in past seasons. Zach brings up how things could have been different if there had been more open communication. It's clear that he feels hurt by how things unfolded. The trailer even hints that he and Tori are questioning whether they want to be part of the farm's future at all. Tori also expresses frustration, saying that there's always some kind of drama when it comes to the farm. She wants a more peaceful life for her kids and doesn't want them caught in the middle of adult issues. She and Zach are focusing more on their own family now, and that's becoming their priority. At one point, Amy says that the family feels broken. It's an emotional moment. She talks about how things used to feel more connected, and now everyone seems to be on different pages. There's a sense of sadness in her words, like she's trying to hold on to something that's slipping away. Meanwhile, Karen is also shown dealing with the pressure. Being engaged to Matt comes with its own set of challenges, especially since she's now more involved in family matters. Karen has always been a somewhat controversial figure among fans, and it seems like this season will explore her role even more deeply. Some scenes show her trying to smooth things over, while others suggest she might be at the center of some of the drama. Chris, Amy's husband, also makes a few appearances in the trailer. He seems to play the role of a peacekeeper, trying to support Amy while also encouraging her to move forward. He tries to keep things light and fun, even when things get tense. But even he seems to realize how deep the family wounds go. There's also a focus on the future of the farm. Matt talks about wanting to build something for the next generation, but it's unclear who that next generation will be. With Zach and Jeremy both taking a step back and no clear successor in sight, there's a big question mark around what's going to happen with Roloff Farms. Some fans might remember the past drama about Matt trying to sell part of the property and how that led to a fallout with his sons. That issue still seems unresolved. The trailer hints that this conversation isn't over and may be reignited in the new season. What's interesting is that even though there's a lot of conflict, there are also moments of love and connection. The grandchildren bring a lot of joy to the screen. We see the kids running around, laughing, and enjoying time with their grandparents. These moments offer a reminder of what's really at stake, a family trying to stay connected despite their differences. The trailer ends on a dramatic note. Amy and Matt have a direct conversation where they finally talk about some of their issues. Amy says something about needing to be heard, while Matt insists that he's just trying to do what's best for everyone. The conversation doesn't seem to end well, and it leaves viewers wondering how things will move forward. Overall, this new season of Little People, Big World looks like it's going to dive deep into the family's struggles with change, communication, and healing. It's about what happens when life moves on, but people are still holding on to old hurts. There's love, but there's also pain. And through it all, the Roloffs are trying to figure out how to be a family again, even when it feels impossible. For fans of the show, this season will probably feel more emotional and personal than ever. It's not just about farming or pumpkin season anymore, it's about relationships, forgiveness, and finding a way forward. Whether you've been watching since the beginning or are just tuning in now, this season promises to be one of the most intense yet. So, as the new season rolls out, fans will be watching closely to see if Amy and Matt can find common ground, if Zach and Tori will return to the farm life, and how Karen and Matt's engagement will affect the future of the Roloff family. Over the years, Little People, Big World has followed the lives of the Roloff family, sharing their ups and downs, family changes, personal growth, and sometimes heartbreaking losses. While most of the show focuses on family life, the farm, and relationships, the series has also shown how the Roloffs have had to deal with grief and loss like any other family. Recently, fans were heartbroken to hear about another tragic loss connected to the show. While the Roloff family has experienced several emotional moments over the years, this latest tragedy brought a wave of sadness to the show's longtime viewers. The most recent death that affected the Little People, Big World community was the passing of Gritty, the family's beloved pet dog. Gritty had been with Amy Roloff and her husband Chris Merrick for many years. Amy shared an emotional tribute on social media, calling Gritty one of the best dogs ever. She said he had been part of the family, and it was incredibly hard to say goodbye. Gritty's passing reminded viewers how pets can feel like family and how deeply their loss can be felt. But this isn't the first time the Roloffs have had to deal with loss. One of the earliest and most difficult moments for the family came with the death of Ron Roloff, Matt's father. Ron was a big part of the family's life and had appeared on the show several times in its early seasons. He was known for his gentle nature, wisdom, and close bond with his grandchildren. When he passed away in 2022 after a battle with chronic illness, the family was devastated. Matt shared the news on Instagram, writing that his father had left behind a legacy of love, kindness, and faith. Amy also paid her respects, despite being divorced from Matt at that point. She remembered Ron as a kind and supportive grandfather to their kids. His death was a major loss for the Roloff family and one that deeply affected them all. Not long after Ron's passing, the family suffered another blow. Peggy Roloff, also known as Hune, Matt's mother, passed away as well. She had been struggling with health issues for some time, and her death added another layer of grief for the family. Losing both parents in a short period was incredibly difficult for Matt. He spoke openly about how much his parents had shaped him and how thankful he was for their love and support throughout his life. The deaths of Ron and Peggy were not shown in great detail on the show, but their impact was clearly felt. The show also highlighted moments when the Roloff family faced emotional challenges around illness and medical struggles, especially related to dwarfism and surgeries. While not all of these stories involved death, they showed how the family came together in times of hardship. Another tragic moment came outside of the main Roloff family, but still hit close to home. In 2021, news broke that Mike Detchen, who had been part of the show in earlier seasons, passed away. Mike wasn't a Roloff by blood, but he had a big role in Jeremy and Zach's lives. He was a close friend of the family and helped coach the boys in soccer. Mike appeared in several episodes and was known for his strong bond with the kids and his fatherly presence. His death came as a shock, and fans remembered him as someone who cared deeply for the family. The Roloffs shared tributes online, remembering Mike as a kind man who made a difference in their lives. As the show has continued over the years, Fans have also watched the family grow older, and that naturally brings more life changes, including loss. Some of the children, like Zach and Tori, have had to explain loss to their own kids, which brought an emotional layer to the show that many fans related to. The show has never tried to hide the emotional parts of life. From divorce to disagreements, to death and grief, Little People, Big World has shown how one family continues to grow and hold on through tough times. And as the show moves forward, these emotional events become part of the family story. Aside from family members and close friends, there have also been emotional losses involving fans of the show. Over the years, some devoted viewers who had followed the Roloffs since the beginning also passed away. Though these losses weren't covered in the show, the Roloff family has, at times, acknowledged their loyal fanbase and offered condolences when fans have passed, showing how much they value the connection with the people who've supported them. Another emotional moment on the show was when Amy reflected on the loss of her parents, though these were more private moments, not heavily documented in the series. Amy has spoken about how losing her father and mother shaped her life and made her cherish time with her kids and grandchildren even more. These moments helped fans connect with her on a deeper level. The topic of loss also came up when Amy and Matt divorced. While no one died during that time, it was the end of a chapter, an emotional and painful one for both of them and their children. Fans saw how the family handled the breakup, how they moved forward, and how they tried to stay connected despite major changes. Loss comes in many forms, and Little People, Big World has shown that in different ways. From death and grief to endings and goodbyes, the show has never shied away from the emotional reality of life. That honesty is one of the reasons the show has remained on air for so many years. Viewers feel like they are part of the family's journey, sharing both joyful and heartbreaking moments. As the show continues, it's likely the Roloffs will face more changes and more emotional milestones. Fans appreciate that the family continues to be open and real, even when the moments are difficult to share. Loss is never easy, but the way the Roloffs handle it, with love, reflection, and honesty, has helped many viewers feel less alone in their own grief. In the end, the show reminds us that no family is perfect, but what matters is staying together, honoring those we've lost, and continuing to move forward. Whether it's a pet, a parent, a friend, or just a part of life that's ending, Little People, Big World shows how one family keeps going, even when the road gets tough. Jeremy and Jacob Roloff were once regular faces on Little People, Big World. The show followed the lives of the Roloff family, who live on a farm in Oregon. It started back in 2006 and quickly became popular. At the beginning, all 4 Roloff children, Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob, were part of the show. Over time, though, each of them started to move away from the spotlight, and now only Zach continues to appear on the show with his wife Tori and their children. So, why aren't Jeremy and Jacob on the show anymore? There are a few reasons, and both brothers have shared parts of their journey publicly. Starting with Jeremy, he was one of the main cast members during the early years of the show. He's Zach's twin, and the two of them were very close growing up. Fans saw Jeremy go through childhood, teenage years, and eventually meet and marry his wife, Audrey. The couple even had their wedding featured on the show. But in 2018, Jeremy and Audrey announced that they were stepping away from Little People, Big World. Jeremy said that it was time to move on and start focusing on other things. He wanted to work on personal projects, spend more time with family, and have more privacy. Since leaving the show, Jeremy and Audrey have been very active online. They've written books, started a podcast, and created a blog that shares their thoughts on marriage, parenting, and faith. They've built a strong following on social media and have turned their attention toward building a life away from reality TV. Jeremy has also said that he wants a different kind of life for his kids, one that isn't always on camera. He's made it clear that while he's thankful for the experience he had on the show, he doesn't want his children growing up in front of the camera the same way he did. Another big reason Jeremy left the show has to do with the family farm. For years, there was talk about which child would take over Roloff Farms. Jeremy had shown interest in buying the farm and keeping it in the family. However, things didn't work out as he had hoped. In 2022, he mentioned that the farm negotiations didn't go the way he expected and that it was disappointing for him and Audrey. He didn't go into all the details, but it was clear that there were some disagreements behind the scenes. After those events, Jeremy became even more distant from the show. While he still shares updates about his life on social media, he hasn't returned to the series and seems focused on creating his own path. Now, let's talk about Jacob, the youngest Roloff sibling. Jacob also left the show, but his reasons were very different from Jeremy's. Jacob stopped appearing on Little People, Big World when he was still a teenager. He later spoke out about how unhappy he was with the way the show was produced. He felt that some of the moments on the show weren't real, and that scenes were edited in a way that didn't always reflect the truth. In 2016, Jacob posted a message on Instagram explaining that he was quitting the show for good. He said that he didn't want to be part of the fake drama and that he wanted to live life on his own terms. He also shared that growing up on TV had been hard for him and that he wanted a break from it all. Since then, Jacob has become more private. He travels a lot, works on farming and writing, and spends time with his wife Isabel and their son. Jacob also speaks openly about his views on life, politics, and other issues that are important to him. He's very different from his brothers and has chosen a lifestyle that's more quiet and simple. In 2020, Jacob shared something very personal. He revealed that he had been sexually abused by a former producer from Little People, Big World when he was younger. This news shocked fans and was deeply upsetting. Jacob said that he wanted to speak out so that others could feel safe and know they weren't alone. He made it clear that he wasn't blaming his family, but rather someone who worked behind the scenes. After sharing that experience, Jacob received support from his family. Matt, Amy, and even his brothers all showed love and respect for his bravery. But this also confirmed why Jacob would never return to the show. It had become a place that brought back painful memories. Even though Jacob isn't on the show, he still visits the farm from time to time and helps out, especially during pumpkin season. He seems to have a good relationship with his family, but he chooses to keep most of his life private. Both Jeremy and Jacob have moved on from Little People, Big World for different reasons, but they each made their decision based on what they felt was right for them and their families. Jeremy wanted to build a business, have more control over his time, and raise his kids outside of TV. Jacob wanted to find peace, break away from a system that didn't work for him, and deal with painful parts of his past. As for whether either of them will ever return to the show, it seems unlikely. They've made it clear that they're focused on their own goals now. While fans still miss seeing them on TV, many also respect their decision and continue to follow their lives online. The show has changed a lot since it first started. Back then, it was about the whole family. Now, it mainly focuses on Zach and Tori, as well as Matt's new life with Karen and the future of the farm. As the years go on, the show continues to evolve, just like the family has. Even though Jeremy and Jacob are no longer on Little People, Big World, they are still part of the bigger Roloff story. Their lives have taken them in different directions, and they're building their own futures. Just off camera, for many years, one of the biggest events for the Roloff family has been pumpkin season. Every fall, Roloff Farms in Oregon opens to the public, and fans from all over the country come to visit. Pumpkin season is full of fun activities, hayrides, pumpkin picking, food, games, and family meet and greets. It's something the Roloffs have been known for since Little People, Big World first began. But recently, fans noticed something different. Zach and Tori Roloff were missing from pumpkin season. In the past, they were always there helping out, taking pictures with fans, and spending time on the farm. So, why did they decide to skip it? There are several reasons, and most of them have to do with family changes, personal choices, and past disagreements. One of the biggest reasons Zach and Tori didn't take part in pumpkin season is because of the tension between Zach and his dad, Matt Roloff. Over the last few years, there have been disagreements about the future of the farm. Matt has been trying to figure out what to do with Roloff Farms as he gets older. He hoped one of his kids would take over, but things didn't work out as planned. Zach had shown interest in buying part of the farm. He and Tori were serious about staying close and raising their kids on the land. But according to what's been shared on the show and in interviews, the negotiations didn't go well. Zach felt like the price was too high and that Matt didn't treat him fairly during the process. This caused hurt feelings and a lot of distance between them. After that, Zach and Tori decided to move away from the farm. They bought a new home in Washington, several hours away from Roloff Farms in Oregon. They wanted a fresh start and a place to raise their 3 kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah, without being right in the middle of the family drama. Because of the distance and the emotional tension, they decided to step back from farm activities, including pumpkin season. Being part of pumpkin season takes a lot of time and energy. It also involves being around the whole family and working closely with Matt. After everything that happened, Zach and Tori felt it was better for their family to take a break. Tori has also shared that life with 3 young kids is busy and full. Traveling back and forth to the farm, especially during a very hectic time like pumpkin season, just didn't make sense for them. She's talked about wanting to focus more on her children and create family memories in their own home. Another factor is privacy. Over the years, Zach and Tori have become more careful about what parts of their lives they share publicly. They're still on Little People, Big World, but they've made it clear that they want to protect their children's experiences. Being at pumpkin season, with so many people visiting the farm, brings a lot of attention. That can be overwhelming, especially for young kids. Even though they didn't show up at the event, Zach and Tori still support the idea of family traditions. They've said before that pumpkin season is something special, and they're thankful for all the memories they've made over the years. But right now, they're focusing on a different chapter of life, one that's a little quieter and more centered on their own home and family time. Matt, on the other hand, has continued pumpkin season with the help of others. His fiancée, Karen, has helped with planning and organizing. Jacob, the youngest Roloff brother, has also stepped in to help on the farm. Even though Jacob doesn't appear on the show anymore, he still works behind the scenes, especially during big events like this. Some fans were disappointed not to see Zach and Tori at the farm. They've been a big part of the show and the pumpkin season tradition. But many fans also understand their reasons. It's clear that family relationships have changed, and Zach and Tori are doing what's best for them. Zach has always been very dedicated to his role as a father. Since the beginning, he and Tori have put their kids first. With their move to Washington, they've created a home where their children can grow up in a calm, peaceful environment. The decision to skip pumpkin season isn't about turning their backs on the family. It's about protecting their peace and focusing on what matters most. Also, there hasn't been a lot of on-screen resolution between Zach and Matt. Their relationship still seems distant. They don't spend as much time together as they used to, and that tension likely makes events like pumpkin season even more difficult. Tori has also shared that the drama surrounding the farm and family made things feel heavy. What used to be a fun time of year started to feel more stressful. Instead of enjoying the season, it became something that reminded them of everything that had gone wrong. At the end of the day, Zach and Tori are building their own life. They still love their family, and they haven't ruled out being part of future events, but for now, they're choosing to step back. That's a decision many fans respect. Their absence from pumpkin season is a big change, especially for longtime viewers of the show. But it's also a reminder that people grow, relationships shift, and sometimes stepping away is part of healing. Even though they weren't there for pumpkin season, Zach and Tori have continued to share moments from their lives on social media and the show. Their fans still get to see their parenting journey, home life, and how they're raising 3 happy, energetic kids. They may not be on the farm, but they're still a central part of the Little People, Big World story. In the future, it's possible they'll return for special events or visits, but for now, they've chosen a path that works better for their family's needs. And that's something many people can understand. As the show continues, fans will keep watching to see how the family grows and changes. Pumpkin season may look different now, but the Roloff story goes on, just in new ways and from different places. So, what do you think is going to happen in season 26? Do you think the family will finally reconcile? Are you excited to see Matt and Karen possibly tie the knot? Or are you just excited to catch up with the Roloffs and see how everyone is doing? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any updates as we get closer to the premiere. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with more Little People, Big World news. September 20th. Mark your calendars.